I remember vividly as a kid when the year 2000 was happening, and I know that puts me on spectrums on both ends, either old or young, I don't know, but I remember all of the hype leading up to January 1st, 2000. There was a lot of worry about computers crashing because they wouldn't be able to roll over to the next calendar year, and just all sorts of doom and gloom stories about just the end of the world kind of stuff. And January 1st, 2020 came, and it was just another day. And I would imagine probably most of us have experienced things like that, even if you're 10, 5 years old. There's all sorts of theories about this specific date is going to be the end of all things. And here we are. I think it's really important to, well, first of all, note that all of these things have failed, really. But Paul, in the second reading today, I think gives us a little taste of that. 2,000 years ago already, he's telling us, do not be shaken out of your minds suddenly, or to be alarmed either by a spirit or by an oral statement, or by a letter allegedly from us, to the effect that the day of the Lord is at hand. Maybe you guys had the same experience as me, but the first time I read the book of Revelation, I was just like, oh my goodness, dragons and beasts, and when is all this supposed to happen? And start freaking out that this could happen tomorrow. And there's so many references in scriptures. Second reading today, Jesus himself in the Gospels talks about, you neither know the day or the hour, just be ready. It'll come like a thief, but be ready. That's the attitude we have to be whenever we see any of the chaos that goes on in the world. And the most recent thing I think that I feel, at least in myself, is this war between the Ukraine and Russia. I hear threats of global bombing and nuclear bombing, all sorts of different things like that. And it can be scary. We're coming to the end of the liturgical season right now. We have a couple weeks left before we start into Advent. And this season, we tend to focus on the end of all things in particular. Eschatology is the theological word. Very quickly, Monday night, we're going to celebrate All Hallows Eve, Halloween, the day before All Holy Day of All Saints. And then we're going to celebrate the feast of All Souls Day. And I think all of these readings, all of these feast days that we're going to be celebrating should really, again, focus us on Paul's words here. Don't be shaken out of your minds that the day of the Lord is at hand. If any of these things should point to anything in our lives, and if we are getting shaken, I think it should be a reflection on us to say, simply, am I prepared? Not to freak out about what could or couldn't happen or whatever else and start throwing theories, but am I prepared? Simply. And for the Christian, what does it mean to be prepared? But am I right with the Lord? Am I right with the relationships I have with my brothers and sisters and my enemies? What is there that is still lacking peace in my life and heart that I haven't dealt with yet, that I haven't brought to the Lord for healing? That's all that matters. And I hope that as inevitably we'll run into some other Y2K kind of scare or whatever else that'll come up in our lives. And again, I just hope that it's a simple reminder to just say, am I ready? Am I ready to be with the Lord or not?